manifest. The air quality is awful. I just landed 30 minutes ago, took an Uber here, and they were not kidding. The air quality is really bad, so I'm switching to AC. And no, actually, wait, I want auto, but recirculated air, because it really feels smoky and like something burning, right? So I'm bringing my mask with me because I have to go buy some groceries. Well, while I'm waiting for the car to warm up a little bit. So I woke up at 7 o'clock today in Ontario. In my hotel, went to Starbucks for an hour, and then 8 o'clock I left, and I drove 1 hour to the Pearson airport, returned my car with no issues, despite that car has so many scratches, and which was impossible to notice when I was picking it up because it was semi-dark in there, right? But nobody said anything. So I returned the car, and then the Pearson airport is so huge, right? You have to take a train to go from one terminal to another, like a short ride, but still, like a train. It's so much bigger than Calgary airport. And so the plane was a bit late, but this time I had a good strategy in place. Because I made sure I had something in my books, you know, like the Apple computer, that we have an app called Books, and I know that I purchased over the past couple of years, especially when I was trucking, I purchased like 10 or 9 books, and they're all there, sitting there, like in, you know, e-form, digital form, and they're mine. But last time when I tried to do it on the plane when I was flying, I tried to, you know, download them from my account, and it says no internet. Basically, they're not stored on your computer, they're stored somewhere on the cloud, right? And so now this time I was smart, and while I was still at the hotel, I made sure I started that app Books, and it says your laptop is not authorized for this account. Click here to authorize your laptop. And so I had to enter my Apple ID, and then boom, all my books reappeared, and I chose to download one wonderful, very funny book. It's called Razor Girl. I forgot the name of the author, but it's very funny. It's kind of like a thriller, whodunit with a comedy. Everything is happening in Florida, and so I made sure that my laptop was fully charged when I was on the plane. And so I spent, because the flight was about probably 3 hours 40 minutes, and I spent the time you know, pleasantly, like was before. All I had to do was just play with my phone and look through the window. Now I was just reading a book, you know, so it was pretty cool. And I met a nice young couple. Actually, when I paid extra money to get a seat with more space, so this time I paid $35 for this bigger seat. But now I knew that my backpack was still considered a personal item, so I didn't have to pay for it. So I only paid $75 for my check-in bag, which was also, you know, just stored in the overhead compartment. And so yeah, and there was no people next to me. Like the 2 seats were empty, so I thought I would be lucky. But then some young couple moved back. They said, man, it's impossible over there. I said, what's going on? So like the attendant allowed them to move here, and they said, well, it's like kids and body odor, you know. So, but yeah, so they spent time. They had a small tablet. No, not a small one, actually. They're pretty big. I don't know, maybe like 13 inches. So they spent time watching a movie on a tablet. I'm not sure how is that possible, because there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. and the tablet usually doesn't have that much storage, right, to store an entire movie, but they were watching a movie the entire flight with subtitles, right, because it was not loud enough. But I was reading my book about the Razor Girl, so it was all,
head west, then turn left.
It was all pretty cool.
Turn right onto Skyview Ranch Manor, then turn right onto Skyview Ranch Boulevard Northeast.
Yeah, so basically I have to go and grab some food because I don't have much food left. I think I only have like a cabbage or something in the, hold on, in the fridge. I was just looking for this, so I don't want to scratch my fancy aviator glasses. And the flight was good. Like, we only had a couple of shakes, very mild, and the guy touched down without jumping 20 times, you know. And it was cool. I was using the Compass app that I discovered. All right, are we in? Yeah, I'm using this key. And a couple of times I checked on my car. All I had to do was start the
turn left toward Skyview Ranch Manor, then turn right onto Skyview Ranch Manor.
All I had to do was
turn right onto Skyview Ranch Manor, then turn right onto Skyview Ranch Boulevard Northeast. Turn right onto Skyview Ranch Boulevard Northeast, then turn left onto 128th Avenue Northeast.
So all I had to do was start my Bluetooth and click on Find My Car, you know, the app.
Turn left onto 128th Avenue Northeast.
And it showed my car still sitting here, which is cool.
Continue on 128th Avenue Northeast for 1.5 kilometers.
Boy, I missed this car. Like that Honda, the Honda Camry I had for 4 days, of course, it was not a bad car. It was actually very good on gas, because I went to Bolton twice. It was like 85 clicks one way, right? So it's basically 180 kilometers one way. I mean, one trip, and then 180 kilometers another trip. And then I went to Toronto to do that photo shoot, street photography. And then I went back again this morning to return the car. So I did quite a few kilometers, but I found a gas station right next to the airport. It was used to be a Petro-Canada, but they demolished it, but I found Shell right next block, and the price of gas was, I think, was $155 per liter, and I only paid, I think that I only needed like 30 liters, you know, 30 liters. So it cost me, you know, like $1.50 times 30. Not too bad for 4 days of driving. So now we're just going to the real Canadian superstore to buy some food. Oh, and this couple, I asked them,
in 400 meters, continue straight.
I asked them, are you from Ontario? And they said, yeah. So they were here. They were here to visit Banff, and they had no idea about these fires. I said, well, the air is bad now, but maybe in Banff it's better because Banff is 1 hour
continue
west.
Straight, then continue straight.
And I told them, make sure that you go and see Lake Louise, and they said, oh yeah, that's where we're going. And I said, hey, I just moved from Ontario last fall, I said, because I couldn't afford anything over there. We chatted about real estate. I said, what do you think, one bedroom condo, like what I paid 179,000 Canadian for, what do you think it'll be worth? How much would it cost in Toronto to get a one bedroom condo? And she says, Toronto itself, she said, they said 750,000 for one bedroom condo.
Continue straight. Continue for 1.5 kilometers.
And so they were pretty impressed with the pricing here. And I said, guys, you should move here. I said, first off, everything is cheaper here except alcohol. Alcohol is more money than in Ontario for some reason. But taxes are lower, income tax is lower. We don't have a sales tax, right? Just a federal tax, 5%. Gas is cheaper, real estate is cheaper. And they said,
in 600 meters, turn left onto Barlow Trail Northeast.
And the wife said, the company she works for offered her a job here. Like, she has a job. She didn't say what she was doing, but she said they offered her a job here.
Turn left onto Barlow Trail Northeast, then turn right onto Stonehill Drive Northeast.
And they said if she agrees to relocate, they will pay her $20,000 more than what she's making in Toronto, you know. And so, man, so basically, you can buy a property here way cheaper than in Toronto, and you'll be paying less in taxes, and
turn right onto Stonehill Drive Northeast.
You'll make 20K more. Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. But they said, the husband says,
continue for 1.5 kilometers.
He says, we want to see how we like it here. And I'm guessing that's the purpose of the trip. On the one hand, they're doing a vacation, and on the other hand, they're evaluating the prospect of living here. And I said, guys, like, I moved in October last year, and I said I love it here. And also I said,
in 600 meters, continue straight to stay on Barlow Trail Northeast.
I said, more and more often I see cars with Ontario license plates here. You know, because yeah, like, how can you afford a one-bedroom condo for $750,000? Like, if my mortgage,
continue straight to stay on Barlow Trail Northeast.
If my mortgage is, let's say, $1,000, right? But if this apartment was $750,
use the right lane to continue on Barlow Trail Northeast North, then turn right onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
I'm guessing my mortgage would be $5,000, you know, for a one-bedroom.
Turn right onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
For one bedroom.
Continue on Country Hills Boulevard Northeast for 5 kilometers.
Apartment. This is the car, boys and girls. Oh, I'm at 2,000 kilometers, even. 2000. Wow. I need 400 kilometers more, and then I can do racing. Okay, because that's 1,500 miles, is 2,400 kilometers. I feel like a spaceman a little bit, you know, because first off, the flight, you know, my ears are still ringing from that descent, because the flight was, I kept checking, you know, I discovered this free app, the Compass, and when you're in a plane, that Compass app shows you elevation, and it was real cool to see. Like, most of the time, the majority of the flight was at 11,800 meters. So basically 35,000 feet. And then finally I was waiting Oh, and I was checking our position on Google Maps, and then I saw that we were about 200 kilometers away, and I figured we should be dropping altitude soon, because yeah, the plane was doing like 650 an hour clicks. And sure enough, I'm looking at the compass and it says 11,600 meters, 11,500. It was like rolling slowly. Then I checked back at like 5 minutes, it says 6,000 meters. And then we broke through the clouds, and I started taking apart, you know, cars and buses and trucks, and we were at the last big highway. I think we crossed this bypass 201, the bypass around Calgary. But all in all, I think, you know, I enjoyed the trip. I needed something. I needed some kind of a vacation to break the routine, because I got tired of sitting at home, you know, trying to find loads. And actually, speaking of loads, I am working on a quote. One of the customers reached out. They're shipping a couple of brand new machines inside Canada, so I'm waiting for some quotes from carriers. But of course, now it's a long weekend, right? It's Victoria Day in Canada, Victoria Day weekend, and so nobody's working Monday. So the first working day will be Tuesday. But I do have something on my plate finally. And yeah, Toronto, man, I cannot say I miss it, but I did miss a little bit Ontario, because I was at the hotel in Cambridge, right? That's where I was spending all my time as a trucker when I was between runs. And I went to my favorite Starbucks, and one of the girls, Penny, still works there, and she recognized me. Hey, Sergei, what is it gonna be? Americano? Like, she says, long time no see. I said, yeah, I moved to Calgary. Oh, really? So we chatted a little bit. So I tried to convert them as well. I said, guys, you should all move to Calgary. I said, you know, I couldn't afford anything in Cambridge. But yeah, once again, just to put things into perspective, right? So my mortgage, just the mortgage, is what is it, like 950, basically $1,000 Canadian, right? A one-bedroom apartment for rent in Cambridge is 2,500, and if you go to Toronto, it's 3,000 a month, which is ridiculous, you know. Okay, where are we going? I think we're turning somewhere here. Yeah, I'm just past.
In 500 meters, turn right onto Harvest Hills Boulevard north-north.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just passing Home Depot, Canadian Tire. But man, the air outside, it really looks bad, you know.
Turn right onto Harvest Hills Boulevard north-north. Continue on Harvest Hills Boulevard north-north for 800 meters.
So I've been checking on my car, see how many Hellcats they have.
600 meters, turn right.
Amber. So we still have six brand new Challenger Hellcats in Canada, but one of them that was priced for $176,000 I went in to investigate. Turns out it's not a regular Hellcat, it's a Challenger, but it's a red eye Hellcat, wide body. So that one is probably 30,000, usually 30,000 more expensive than my car. And so basically we have 5. So we only have 5 22 Challenger Hellcats, regular body, left for all Canada. So which gives me hope that the price for my car should go up.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Yes, Miss Google. Man, I really miss this car.
Turn right, then turn left.
Honestly, I do want to sell it. All right, we are at the Canadian Superstore with the liquor store. Of course, during this weather, you need liquor to kill germs.
Head south.
Like one stand-up comedian said, he says his daughter, she got a degree as a nurse, and he says now she fancies herself as a family doctor, and she's always after her dad that he should drink less, you know. And the dad says, when you are operating, operating on a sick person, what do you use to sterilize, all these knives and stuff, right? And she says, alcohol. And he said, see, when I drink alcohol, I'm not having fun, I'm killing germs.